My name is Cassie and I'm the founder of Fatco, where we use these guys to make this stuff. Let me explain. At Fatco, we specialize in making natural and organic skin and body care products, many of which contain tallow. It's nutrient dense and healing. It's extremely high in vitamins A, D, K, and E, all super important for skin health. It's natural, it's healthy, and it's sustainable.
The fact that people are saying, oh yeah, when you're finals MVP, you are now the best player on the planet, to me, that makes no sense whatsoever. I don't care if it's a week, 2, 4, 6, 7, 8. Who do we appreciate? LeBron James. That's who y'all gotta start appreciating. And you gotta stop disrespecting this man.
Yes, sir. Appreciate the man, because when he's gone, it'll be way too late. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Prideful Takes podcast, hosted by yours truly, the ugliest motherfucker on the goddamn internet, your boy Pride. I'm writing solo dolo, just like my high school love life. Got some good stuff. Andre goes, yer, and my response, yer. What it do, baby? Suns are they are fully engaged in signing and trading away DeAndre Ayton. Drugs are bad. Kyrie Irving, that whole saga, God knows what the hell is going on with them. But if it ends up that KD or that Kyrie doesn't play with them, where's KD going to end up? We'll talk about that. But before we get into anything else, we got to talk more. Have no choice. We got to talk more Cleveland Browns. We got to milk this thing dry. Another twist, another turn. And I'm not even talking about Deshaun Watson this time. By the way, everybody said, is it me or your hair growing really fast? Yeah, I was blessed with being able to have hair that grows very fast. I'm glad you noticed, AP. By the way, your little one, completely adorable. Completely adorable. But the Browns are expected to rock with Jacoby Brissett over Baker Mayfield if Deshaun Watson gets suspended. They believe with everything that happened, the bridge is completely burnt to the ground. Not even soot is left behind. So now, the big question in the room, does this mean they now have a super duper highway to trading Baker Mayfield? The answer to that is actually kind of slippery. It is yes and no. Now, they are more enticed on trading Baker Mayfield. But here's the problem with it. The problem is that unfortunately, for some reason, and it's probably messed up to say this, but what Cleveland wants in turn for Baker Mayfield is not something you would get for a lot of other quarterbacks. They want multiple first-round picks, a few seconds, and even some players. I am a Baker Mayfield fan. However, to pretend that you can get this with a straight face, to get this for Baker Mayfield, when it'll be hard to look at a guy like imagine this. I think we all agree here. Russell Wilson is a better quarterback than Baker Mayfield. And with everything that Seattle got, people criticize that trade. Let that sink in. Russell Wilson, who I don't think anybody disagrees with me here, is without a shadow of a doubt better than Baker Mayfield. And this is coming from a Baker Mayfield guy. What the Broncos put together to get Baker Mayfield, everybody was poo-pooing on it, saying they were reaching, they were being all this stuff. And for some reason, the Browns want even more than that for Baker. I think it's going to be a situation where I think Baker ends up remaining a Brown until the trade deadline, where they kind of going to have to end up shrugging their shoulders, really having no choice but to deal him out. Andre says Baker acts like a female. It's a business at the end of the day. Here's where I give a little bit of pushback on there. I get that it's a business, but there's a certain way you need to conduct your business with certain people. If I go to you and I tell you, look, Andre, you're my boy. I'm riding with you all the way, 110%. But I am trying to get you out of here to go get someone I perceive as better. I would agree with you had the Cleveland Browns went up to Baker and said, look, Baker, we appreciate everything, brother, but we're going to go a different direction. Have they done that? I think we have a completely different conversation. I think we have a completely and utterly different conversation. Fortunately, the Browns didn't do that. AP says, I need a fact check. Didn't the Browns pay Baker that 18 mil? That actually is a good question. The Browns has to pay me. I'm about to look that up because I feel like I don't think they did. So okay. So he's playing on his 5th-year option, which is almost 19 mil, right? So it's like 18. I think it's like 18.7 or something like that, 18.8, something like that. But the Browns are gonna have to pay some of that money, and if they trade him, I think they're probably gonna have to pay about 80% of it. That and yeah, he's old because he's on his 5th-year option, about a slightly under 19 million. So when they trade him, they're gonna have to pay some of it. Again, it really is kind of sad. I feel bad in a way because I feel like all this could have been changed, avoided, and all this stuff. I feel like everything would have changed if, had they went up to Baker and said, look, Baker, it is what it is, brother, but we got to go our separate ways. I feel like had they said that, I think we're having a completely, utterly different conversation. Like I said, I believe as close to the trade deadline, I think the earliest it gets traded is a week before the trade deadline, unless something crazy happens. And even then, and Andre, that's my only problem with it. I don't have a problem because, again, who is better? Deshaun, aside from what the problems Deshaun brings, who's a better quarterback? Deshaun Watson or Baker Mayfield? That's it. The problem is, though, is that they handled it wrong. They should have just told them. If you tell him we have a whole different thing. He goes, brother, we got a superstar we can get, and you're an average Joe. Thanks for your time. I mean, the difference between Baker Mayfield and Deshaun Watson is immense, and it's I get both sides. I really do, but I'm a clown, So free Baker Mayfield. Free my buddy Baker Mayfield. Moving on from one diva to another. Old Kyrie Irving is expected to demand a trade from Brooklyn pretty soon. By the way, AP says there's about 5 teams that would that could start Baker day one. I say about 5 to 7. I think you're right in that ballpark. Andre goes, Pride, do you think they overpaid Njoku? Yes and no. Now, the reason I do like Njoku, but the problem with him has been his injury. So I personally wouldn't have, he's got the talent, so you can kind of justify giving him that contract. I'm more concerned on him going down. That's it. That's my only concern. So I'll say slightly, only because I'm worried about the injury history. That's it. But Kyrie, he Kyrie a weirdo, man. He a weirdo. They're not seeing eye to eye. He's expecting that Kyrie's gonna end up demanding a trade. Now, if he demands a trade, KD out the door. And when I say out the door, I'm talking about KD will leave Brooklyn before demanding a trade. That's how far out KD finna be. Honestly, that's our joke. I don't blame Kyrie. Yes and no, because again, Kyrie obviously his entire, his unavailability has been a problem. But we also do need to put some blame on the Brooklyn Nets because Brooklyn allowed him to do this. They allowed him to disrespect Steve Nash and say, we don't need a coach. They've allowed him to go on sabbaticals. And I'm not even talking about the vaccine. I'm talking about a guy who shoots 2 for 12, gets butt hurt because he knows they're going to talk to him about it, and he goes on a sabbatical. You can't do that and then think you're going to be a max player, bro. You can't. And not a single soul has ever said that Kyrie Irving can't hoop. Because he can. He could hoop. Kyrie Irving is a special talent. But if you're a special talent, but you won't be on the court, what are we doing here? And again, that has to fall on Brooklyn too. Because if Brooklyn was smart, the first time he did it, they could have checked him right then and there. They could have checked him. But what they decided to do, we got to be, he's our superstar. We gotta take care of him. No. I understand superstars are allowed to bend rules. I get it. Like some teams will have certain rules that you got to abide by. And, some of them can bend, right? For instance, Kawhi Leonard being late to practices and the plane for away games, right? They still made it on time. So, he could bend the rules. Straight up breaking it, talking about, I'm not going. At least with Kawhi, the Clippers are letting him rest. They're letting him do his load management. At least they're on the same page. Before we get to what are your thoughts on Tyreek Hill getting death threats because of what he said about Mahomes and Tua? Look, regardless if you agree with him or not, to say it's death threats, you're just a bitch. Let's just get that out the way, right? Like, if you want to disagree with him, fine. I have no problem with that whatsoever, right? If you want to disagree, okay. But to go on the level of death threats, come on, go get some bitches. AP says, so Kyrie cares about money more than wins. He's better in Brooklyn than the Lakers. And he's better. Well, here's the thing. He's better in terms of money. Because if he goes to LA, I think it was like $6 million he could get. He's leaving over $30 million on the table. He's leaving over $30 million. It's bad. Andrew says he needs Bron. And that's the thing. Kyrie Irving was on his up and up when he had a leader on his team that came at him from a place of respect and love. Like every time Kyrie messed up and Bron would come at him, Bron's not coming at him trying to be like, yo, you need to listen. I'm better than you. No, Bron is coming at him from a Kai. Bro, come on, man. You're better than this. That's what he needs. He doesn't need people enabling him. He needs someone to hold him accountable. He's not going to get that in Brooklyn. And that's why I also said I genuinely believe Kyrie Irving. If I'm Kyrie, before we get to the KD part, if I'm Kyrie Irving, I pick up the team option. I don't demand a trade. None of that. What I do is simple. I pick up the team option and I play basketball, right? If you feel like the refs are doing you dirty and you want to have a little bit of a rant session, okay, fine. I'm okay with that. Okay. If you want to bring attention to some stuff in your media, fine. But if you shoot 2 for 20, dog, just go to the media and say, like, I messed up. I had a bad night. It's on me. I got to go out there and do better. You do that, and we're like, okay. Because I'm telling you, if Kyrie picks up his team option with Brooklyn and plays 65 games, and next year, not this offseason, but next offseason, teams are throwing blank checks at Kyrie Irving. Blank checks. They're going to throw everything at Kyrie Irving. Whatever you want, you got it. What do you want? You want you want a percentage of the team? Is that what you want? You got it. You want us to build you a room in the facility? You got it. And here's the thing, and you make a great point, man. He's not, like it. The thing is, he was never truly committed. The only time he was committed is when he had someone to hold him accountable. That's when you saw the best Kyrie, i.e. in Cleveland with LeBron. And it's not even just LeBron. If you go and you put him with a Nikola Jokic, that's another guy, I will hold you accountable. Hey, Giannis, I'm going to hold you accountable. Even Luka Doncic, I'm going to hold you accountable. It doesn't even have to just be LeBron. You put him anywhere where a teammate, even Miami with Jimmy Butler. Yeah, Jimmy Butler ain't the guy he once was, but he'll at least challenge you. He'll at least get in your face. If he feels like you're wrong, Jimmy Butler will at the bare minimum try to check you. At the bare minimum. And that's all you need. You need someone with the bare minimum to try to check you. That's all. You have him with a guy like Steph. You're not seeing these things from Kyrie. Kyrie just needs to opt in, have a game where he plays 65 or more games. And I'm not telling him to shut up and dribble. What I'm telling him to do is show up and play. That's it. That's it. If you have any opinion, we're not gonna sit here and if you have your opinions, whether they're right or whether they're wrong, yeah, sure, we'll make fun of you because that's just how we are, right? I get made fun of all the time for my face, okay? So you're gonna get made fun of regardless, right? But in terms of the respect that I don't even know if he wants the respect, but the respect that you feel like you deserve, you need to be able to show up and hoop. That's it. You can have all your opinions you want. But in terms of sports, not a single soul is telling you shut up and dribble. We're just asking you, bro. Show up and play. That's it. You do that, Kyrie, you could talk about your other stuff. Katie's open about marijuana. And you want to know why no one's killing him? Because he's hoping. He's doing his job and he's like, look, I'm looking, I'm doing my job. I ain't doing nothing dumb, and I'm trying to speak up for something. and Andre says it. Look, Kyrie's been open, and yes, Kyrie Irving has been open about depression. He has been, which is good. But guess what? You lose the good traction that he's built up about all his talk with depression. It loses steam. It loses steam when he acts like this. And it's a shame. Really is. But in terms of KD, if I'm Kevin Durant, I don't leave Brooklyn just yet. When they trade Kyrie, this is what I would do. This is just a me thing. If you guys think I'm crazy, please feel free to let me know. But I personally would wait. If I'm KD, I'm sitting down. I'm gonna go, you know what? What do we get for Kyrie? What are we getting for him? Are we getting something that we can use right now? Or are we getting something that's showing me that this team is ready to rebuild? Let's say, for instance, they trade Kyrie to Sacramento for De'Aaron Fox. If you're Kevin Durant, do you leave? If they trade him to Portland and you get Damian Lillard, you sure you still want to leave? If they get rid of, and even in this one too, might make you think, what if a Jalen Brunson, would that entice Kevin Durant to wait and see what happens? If I'm KD, I understand you're gonna want help. What he did a couple years ago when he basically was on his back and he put Brooklyn on his back and he basically almost beat the Bucks single-handedly. He looked at everyone and he was like, bro, I got to play every minute of the game. I got to average almost 2 points per minute. just for us to even have a chance. I gotta have a historical night every single night just for us to have a chance. I'm never doing this again. I'm never doing this again. Never. And again, this is what I'm saying. And Andre, and by the way, Andre, I see your question about Kyrie's time in Boston. I promise you I'm gonna address that. I promise I'm not ignoring you. But he says I'm keeping De'Aaron Fox over Kyrie right now. I mean, think about it. If I'm Kevin Durant, think about it. If I'm Kevin Durant and I can get De'Aaron Fox, does that make me want to leave? Does it? Even like that's something, in my opinion, that's just something I think, that's something I think if I'm Kevin Durant, you need to pay very close attention to. That's just me. But to answer your question, what went wrong with Kyrie and Boston? Multiple things. I don't think it was one thing. I think it was a whole bunch of things. The problem was Kyrie Irving, it cannot be the best player on a championship team. It sucks to say that, but it's true. If Kyrie Irving is your best player, you're a good team, not a great team, and you sure as hell ain't an excellent one. So you combine that with the fact of his poor leadership, where if Jason Tatum missed one shot, Jason Tatum could have been 12 for 13. He misses that one shot. Kyrie Irving is bitching and moaning and crying about it. I also think another reason that it kind of failed was the biggest one. When he got injured and we went to the Eastern Conference Finals, that hurt Kyrie. That hurt his ego. Because he is like, yo, I'm the man. And all of a sudden, weird. Combine that with the fact that I think it was the year after that. Yeah, the year after that was kind of when Kyrie started really beefing hard with Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. Especially when we played the Bucks in the playoffs. He had a solid game one, drop of 26, didn't play right at all. The rest. And we lost in 5. So I just think it's a combination of a situation that made him feel upset and slighted when he got hurt and we got to the Eastern Conference Finals. Just the fact that he's just not talented enough to be the number one. Like, that's not him. His poor leadership. Combine that with the fact that you're now on a team where even though they're youngins, they're going to chirp back. All that stuff, I just think all that kind of just made a very messy cocktail. Andre goes, would you be surprised if Kyrie took a big pay cut to reunite with Bron? I think so. I wouldn't know, honestly. I believe in terms of the chances of this happening, I think there's a 0.1% chance. The closest you can get to absolute zero without getting there. I don't think there's any legitimate. I think he'll talk to them, but I don't think in terms of an actual contract, no way. Especially considering when you have other teams that potentially not only are in a better position to give Kyrie more money than the Lakers. So even if he doesn't get a max, he's not playing for $6 million. So that's good. That's kind of my whole thing on it. But if I'm Kevin Durant, I wait. That's just me. I wait. And the reason why I'm waiting is because there's no way, and this is just me, but there's no way, no how, that I'm immediately going to leave like that without checking the landscape first, seeing what's going on, seeing what we get in return. Because if we get players that can help us win right now, we might have something. Now, if they trade Kyrie for picks, now, if I'm Kyrie, yeah, I'm getting up out of there. But if Kyrie Irving demands a trade and says, I want out, if I'm KD, I wait. I go, you know what? Let's see what's the haul. What are we bringing in? Are we bringing in a guy that's, like I said, a Damian Lillard? If things go left, a Brandon Ingram type of player, obviously we already said, if you can entice the Pacers enough, if you get Tyrese Halliburton, sure, he's not on Kyrie's level, but he's a youngster that can give you buckets. Again, if you're KD, do you really want to leave that? If I'm KD, I wait. I really would wait, especially considering I believe he also has one more year left. So if I'm KD, I'd be more than willing to ride that year out. See what happens. Because again, after that 1 year, guess what? You're gone. But keeping the basketball, the final topic of the day. The Phoenix Suns are on one, brother. The Suns are looking to do a signing trade involving DeAndre Ayton. Long story short, the Phoenix Suns do not believe DeAndre Ayton is indeed they don't believe he's a max player. They don't have any faith in him in terms of being that max player. I don't know why they think that, because in my opinion, I believe he is. I believe he's not only is he worth the max, but I believe in 3 years' time, 2 to 3 years, DeAndre Ayton is not only going to be the best center in basketball, but will be a top 10 player and could be putting his hat in the name as the best player in the NBA. This kid has it all. You need him. He's got a mid-ranger, loves pick and roll. Heck, there are times that he's initiating the pick and roll. Gives you rebounds, gives you defense. Everything you want from a center, he gives you. Everything. At his size, he can keep up if you want to play a fast-paced game or a slow-paced game. Doesn't matter. He's good. So tell me about the final games against the Mavs. Don't look at that and say this is the reason why. Talk to me about before then, when DeAndre Ayton was carrying the Suns in spurts. Suns better reconsider this. They better go to him and say, look, would you be willing? Let bygones be bygones. We'll give you a max. They better, for their safety and well-being. They damn well better. I'm being serious. They better, because there's going to be a huge market for DeAndre Ayton. Plenty of teams will love to. Chicago will love DeAndre Ayton. Detroit will love DeAndre Ayton. Brooklyn will love DeAndre Ayton. Miami will love DeAndre Ayton. Utah. Memphis. I'm talking about teams who would not only love to have him, but would give him the max too. I'm not just talking about, bring him over for a 2-year deal. No. I'm talking about teams that would love to bring him in for a max contract. That's what I'm talking about. There's plenty of teams that would do it. I don't know what's going on over there, man. I don't know what's going on. But if they believe that they can win a championship, all jokes aside, if they believe they can win a championship without DeAndre Ayton, good luck. Dog, if they let Luka get his hands on Ayton, pause, it's over. If Luka and Ayton 2 years win a ring. I mean it. In 2 years, they win a ring. Follow us on Twitter at Prideful Takes. If there's anything you guys want us to talk about, obviously feel free to tag us. We also do go live on Twitter as well. So check your boy out. Check us out also on Facebook at Prideful Takes, and also on YouTube at Prideful Takes. Visit our website, www.pridefultakes.com. Not only is every episode of the podcast up there, but we also have original articles. Check us out on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, Prideful Takes Podcast. If you have an iPhone, just say, hey, Siri, play the Prideful Takes Podcast, and she'll take care of the rest. As always, go to www.fatco.com. Use discount code Prideful Takes. Get 15% off all your organic skin care needs. And ladies and gentlemen, follow your boy on TikTok at PR_Pride22. Sometimes I'll be having some random thoughts in my head about sports. And if it's not long enough to do a segment, I'll just put it up on TikTok. So give your boy a follow there. But I appreciate you guys spending some time with me. I'll be back here on Monday to talk more sports, to bash Golden State a little more. Until then, y'all know what to do, ladies and gentlemen. Be safe.
Knew where that was going. That was a great read.
Oh, Lillard from the logo. That'll quiet the 2 on the season. 2nd and 1 for the Bills. They handle the rush. Allen looking. End zone.
To Shohei Ohtani. Center field. Let's watch it go. Did several of those inside low kicks.